All right, so today is working with Google Docs. By now, the majority of people, I believe, know what a Google Doc is, but it's how to utilize it specifically for what you need for your specific job and role at the university. So my name is Amanda Alford. I am currently an instructional designer at West Liberty University. I am a former ed tech coach and a former public school science teacher. So there's my email. Joining me today is Corey. Corey is also an instructional designer here at West Liberty University. She is also a former ed tech coach, and she is a former secondary computer science and social studies teacher. So we do have our information right there. If at any time you would like to contact us, all you need to do is go into our email and just start typing our name and it should appear. And we both have our images there by our face or by our name. That way you can be like, yes, that is the right person. So how this session is going to work, this is an interactive session. So you will need to either be on a mobile device where you can open another tab, a desktop, a tablet, a Chromebook, a laptop, something that you can open up a few different tabs. You will need to be logged into your Google account. Now, this can be your personal account or your school account. Either doesn't matter. It's really whatever you're comfortable with. If you do have any questions, please make those comments in the chat. Now, we are a relatively small group, so if you just want to unmute and say, hey, Amanda, I have a question, that's fine. But Corey and I are also certified Google trainers, which means we have been doing this for about 6 years of training specifically on Google tools. And so if it's a question that you just don't want to interrupt, feel free to type that into the chat and Corey can answer that, or she'll stop me and I'll be more than happy to go back over anything that you need. Our session learning objectives is hopefully by the end of this session, you'll be able to create and set up a Google Doc from scratch. We're going to really talk about key collaboration tools, such as sharing, the permissions, and real-time editing. I'm going to show you how to integrate images, videos, links, smart chips, and drop-down menus, just to help with that collaboration and make your work a little bit more efficient. And then also, again, with efficiency, creating, copying, and organizing those Google Docs. So I always like to start off with something a little fun. So nothing is more fun than Golden Girls. So in the chat, if you feel comfortable, you can see that each of them have a number. If you would just drop the number, rate your experience with Google Docs. So 1 is I'd have no idea. 2 is don't get me started. 3 is you kind of are familiar. 4 is Google is the most disgusting thing in the world. 5 is you are rocking this, and 6 is we can partner up in the next session. Not really, but you feel very comfortable using Google Docs. All right, let me pull up the chat. Okay, so a 5, a 3, a little excited. Okay, I appreciate your honesty. It's okay. It's okay. So thank you for doing that. I will say this is very much what I call a session of I do, you do. So my goal is for you to walk away with an actual document with skills that you'll be able to start practicing today, tomorrow, right away, not something that you have to wait until next semester or a couple of months down the road. So what is a Google Doc? A Google Doc is very similar to a Microsoft Word. So I'm sure most of you are also very familiar with Microsoft Word. But what this allows is it allows you to share documents with adjustable permissions and have that real-time collaboration. No, that's completely fine. I do realize that Word also has these capabilities, but after working in both worlds, I do feel that Google Docs has just a few more permissions and adjustabilities, and I think that Word is catching up to that. It does have a version history to view and revert edits, which I'm going to show you. It allows you to integrate things such as videos, images, and hyperlinks. A new tool that they just added last year that is a huge help are things called smart chips that I'm going to show you, and then drop down menus and document linking. Making copies for templates is a huge one that I often find myself when I work in a Word doc that I wish that button was there in Word. And then accessing the resources and tools to continue to build your development in Google Docs. So I'm going to help you get started. The first thing that we do, and I'm going to show this to you in real time, is we go to Google. So we will open our Chrome browser. I will let you know that this does look different in Firefox, Safari, or Explorer. So I am using Chrome. So if your screen does look a little different, that is probably why. We'll go up here. So make sure that you are logged in. Again, you can use your personal account or your school account. I'm in my school account. And then you're going to click on what is called the app launcher. Some of you may call it the waffle. Some of you may call it just the cube. And when you click on this, this is what will appear, and you will see all these different icons. Now, the different icons will be in a different order depending on how you have them set up. So these are the ones that I use the most, so that's why they are there. If yours is down here somewhere and you would like to move it, all you need to do is click and drag, and you can drag it up if you are like, I use one of these tools more often than others. You can click and drag. So all you gotta do is move it around. But if you click on this, it will open a new Google Doc, and it will give you the options of your template gallery. Now I'm just going to choose blank. I will also let you know that you can also open a new Google Doc in Google Drive. But for this, just for efficiency of time, I wanted to show you this way. So you can open up a new Google Doc. Again, I just went up into Chrome, clicked on the app launcher, and clicked on the icon. The first thing that we want to do when we create a new Google Doc is right up here where it says untitled document, we need to give this a title, because if you don't give it a title, it will say untitled document in your Google Drive. And that is fine until, as a former teacher, and Corey has also felt this, that when you go back to your Google Drive and you have 20 some untitled documents, it's more efficient to just go ahead and remember to name the Google Drive in the beginning. So I'm just going to put for this PD example, you're more than welcome to copy that. Okay. And then I click somewhere off, and now that's the name. So when I go back to my Google Drive, it will say PD example. All right. So I want to explain a little bit about the collaboration part of this. As I was saying, I realize that other tools also have collaboration, but what I like about the Google Docs is that you can share it with different individuals. So when Corey and I are working with each other, she can share something with me and we can work on it together live and see what each other is doing. Corey and I are about 100 miles apart from each other. And so it's nice, since we both work remotely, that we can work with each other on a project and not have to try to find time. So if Corey wants to work on it at 7 in the morning and I want to work on it at 7 at night, we have that collaboration. We can also work in groups. Corey and I are both in Indiana. And so even though we work at West Liberty, we've only been there once. And so we can work with our team, the Office of E-Learning, and we can work with them as a group collaboratively on a document, and we don't have to be there. Again, I can see what my coworkers are doing, they can see what I'm doing, and we can have that collaboration. And lastly, Corey and I, as instructional designers, create online courses. And this is what we share with our professors when they are creating their course. And so we share this with them, and we can go back and forth and collaborate with the professors in the adjuncts without ever having to schedule times. We don't have to work around each other's schedules. We have that flexibility to work with one another. So I'm going to show you the share settings. Up here in the right corner is share. And if I hover over it, it says private only to me. That is default. by default, Google will always be private to you. So if we click on share, all right, you can see that we have a couple of different options. So private means only the people that I have. So if I want to add Corey, okay, I can add Corey. If I want to take Corey off, I can take Corey off. Okay, I can also choose who has access. So say I add Corey, and I'm just going to click on Corey's name. I can choose what type of access Corey has. So I can choose if she is a editor, which means that she can view, comment, edit, change anything about this document. I can choose if she is a commentator or a commenter, which means that she can view and make comments, but she can't edit. She can only tell me what to edit. Or I can make it a viewer. A viewer is what I would give students or individuals who I don't want any edits or comments. It's one of these documents of, I don't need corrections, I just need you to follow these directions. So I can choose any of these. Then down here, I can choose if I want to send her a message. So please review this. If I want to notify her, which means that she gets an email, I have this checkbox. I will let you know this is also defaulted. So if I don't want to notify her, I don't have to. And then I hit send. And now Corey just got an email from me saying, hey, can you please review my PD example? Okay, now you can also see that Corey is an editor. And what I can do is I can make her a commenter. So if I'm like, oh, you keep editing and I don't want you to, you're now a viewer. I can immediately live change permissions. So if you accidentally send it, say, to a student, and you're like, oh, no, I do not want you changing anything, you can choose. If you're like, oh, you were supposed to change things, I'm sorry, I can make you an editor. I can also remove access. So that means that I basically take it back. So if this is something that I don't want Corey to have anymore, because maybe she moved departments and I'm like, this information is irrelevant to her now, I can take it back. I can add an expiration, which means you only have it for a certain period of time. This would be great for students with a study guide or anything coming up for a project. You can add an expiration, and you can also transfer ownership. So say I was department or a chair of a committee, Corey then takes over, I can transfer that ownership. Down here to general access, I can choose who has it. So restricted means only Corey and I can have it. West Liberty means that anybody in West Liberty with the West Liberty group, and they can access it and they can become a viewer and anything like that. Or if you want to send it to somebody and you don't care who has it, you can choose anybody with link. And again, they can be a viewer, a commenter, or an editor. All right, so once you are done with that, you click copy link. And so say I want to send this to somebody and I want to put it in my syllabus, I can just copy the link. It will tell me that my link is copied. And then I can add the link here. And I can add this into an email. I can share this through text message, however I want to share this. Okay, so again, I went to the share button. If I wanted to add somebody, all I had to do was start typing their name. So like there's Donna, there's Mary Lee, whoever I want. The people in my group are the West Liberty people and the people that I email the most. I can choose what type of permissions they have. So again, editor, comment, or viewer. And I can choose who has it. So if it's a document that I don't want anyone to have except Corey, I make it restricted. If I want it just to be within the university, if I have anyone with link, that means it can be shared to anyone. All right. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you practice this so you can see what we're doing. So I'm going to have you create a new Google Doc. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to go in and create a new Google Doc. You can just type a short description of who you are in your department if you want. And then find somebody. So there are a few of us on here. You can just share it with each other if you would like, if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, that's fine. But if you do feel comfortable, share it with somebody in the group. And then as they go through, change the permissions on them and see how those permissions affect what the person that you shared it with and their abilities. So observe the changes in real time and interact. So I am going to give you just a few minutes. So 3 minutes to go ahead, open a new Google Doc. This new Google Doc will also serve as what we'll be working on throughout this session. And if you have any questions, if you get stuck, please feel free to ask. All right, we do have about 1 minute left. So as you finish up, I also want to show you that as Corey's typing here in our example, you can see where Corey is because her color is kind of a burgundy. And you can see as she's typing in real time where she's at, what she's saying, and it indicates. So if you are working with a group or you have students working with partners, you would be able to see which student is saying what because it does indicate it not only by color, but also by using their name. So I just wanted to point that out as a real-time illusion of what that would look like. All right, go ahead and finish up, please. And I do stop this about a second before, that way no one has to hear the alarm. So before we move on, does anyone have any questions real quick? Does anybody have any questions about the sharing, the permissions? Okay, I will let you know that even as somebody who has been using this for multiple years and daily, trying to remember the share permissions is one of the hardest things because you get everything done. And a lot of times the share permissions are one of the few things that we forget to do at the end, but it is something that we can quickly fix. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is making a copy. This is a tool that I really like because it allows you to basically make a copy without altering the original document. So if you've ever created a course of an online course with us here at the Office of eLearning, you know that we have masters of the courses. And the master is basically the hard template. And then you make a copy of that and you change it to whatever specific needs you have. That is what making a copy does here. And so it's beneficial, especially if you're using it for a template as sorts. So it has the main focus points of what you would need. So say you use a syllabus, you could hand this out to other colleagues, adjuncts, new individuals. Say you want to have specific permission forms. Say you have a specific letterhead that you typically use. What you can do by making a copy is ensuring that the original template remains unchanged, but making a new copy without having to retype everything or recopy everything or reformat everything, and be able to make it to whatever you are needing at that time. It also allows teammates to create their own version of a document. And so a lot of times, if a document is shared with me, I will go ahead and make a copy for myself. That way I can put my own notes in my own draft and no one else sees that because it's only needed for myself. And then it also serves as a backup. That way, if there is a significant change done, or a lot of stuff got deleted, or it just completely got overhauled, you do have that backup. So to do your make a copy, what I'm going to have you do is you go down here to file, and it's the third one down, and you just click make a copy. Now it will let you go ahead and name it. By default, it just says copy of, and by default it puts it in your Google Drive folder. So if you want to rename this, so say this is PD example Google Docs, I can rename it. I can choose where in my folders that I want this to go. I can choose any comments and suggestions. So if I want the same comments, I can choose to copy those over, and I can choose to copy it and share it with the same people. So make a copy. It does make a brand new tab. So just to let you know that all of this gets transferred over, but as a new tab. So I will now have 2 of these in my Google Drive. And so if I just really do all kinds of stuff, and I make it different colors, and I highlight stuff, and I mean, somebody just really does a complete overhaul, it does not affect the original document. The original document stays. The only person, and as you can see, Corey's in this one because I shared it with Corey, but this one's private to me. No one has been shared with it. So by making a copy, this is my document. I can choose who it is. I can choose where, like I said, it needs to be saved, everything like that, and it is a separate tab. So what I'm going to have you do is we're going to do another It's Your Turn. But before we get started, Corey is going to drop a link into the chat. And I'm going to give you a sample Google Doc to make a copy of. Then go ahead and make a copy. Again, you just go to File. It's the third down on the drop-down menu. Click Make a Copy. And you are going to rename your copy. So don't let just say copy of. Make sure you rename it. Make a few different changes. And then you can go back and forth and see that your changes on your copy did not affect the changes on your document. So, oh, sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and start your timer. We do have about 45 seconds left, so if you have not finished, just to let you know where we are on time. All right. All right, does anyone have any questions about making a copy? All right, let's move on to version history. This allows you to go back and edit or revise uh, any any part of the document, and you can also see every edit that's ever been made. This is really good if you are allowing students to work in partners. This is really good if you are working in a group. You can go back and see basically exactly everything that everyone has done, how much they've typed, when they typed, and it also allows you to see if they've copy and pasted. So this history allows you to have accountability. So it allows you to, like you said, have transparency of team projects. Also, if you make a mistake and you delete something or you alter something, it can be restored. Even if, say, you alter something today and you don't realize that until tomorrow, you can go back and bring back and restore the previous version. It allows you to see pretty much the progress of the development. And it also allows you to see if a previous version of the document was better than what you currently have. Like I said, how can this be for purposes of this are projects of groups, so you can see who is doing it. That way, not one person does all the work and the other three are like, oh yeah, I did things. You can go back and see. It can showcase their work. So as an English paper or an academic paper, if you have them writing, you can go back and see the different drafts. You can go back to different ideas and proposals. So if you're working on a committee, and it allows you to, like I said, just see who is writing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go back to this doc. As you can see, everybody was on here. Okay. So the way that we find this is if you go up to this clock, basically, with an arrow, you can see the last edit was made 11 minutes ago by Corey. Okay, it tells you when the last edit was made. So if I want to type something, I just give it a few seconds. And then now it says the last edit was seconds ago. So we can see how long ago somebody typed something. If we click on this, you will see that a panel will appear on the right side of my screen. Okay, you can see that things are color coded. You can see that by having this little arrow, I can expand and see who wrote when. So if you have somebody going, oh no, I typed a lot of this, and be like, no, you typed that, or you type this, and it shows by me hovering over this my name, so you can see specifically what I typed. So I can go back to this here, and I can see who wrote what. Okay, by showcasing this, that allows me to, one, reference who did the work, but I can also restore it. So if I'm like, you know what, I don't want all these colors, I don't want all this gibberish, I just want this, I can go to this restore button and I can click restore version. So another document to show you this would be, I have here a version history, and I go up here, last edit was made yesterday, and you can see here are all the edits I made. as I typed. Okay, I will give you a hint. If you go back over here to Corey and I's, if you look at the beginning, it was nothing. And then all of a sudden, Corey had that. That's because she copy and pasted. Corey did not do all this typing. And the reason I can show you that is because here you can go through and see I typed, I typed, I typed. I didn't just boom, put in the paragraph. I typed this out. So if you have a version history that looks like this, which is just one big chunk, that means your student copy and pasted, or your colleague copied and pasted, or you did. Somebody copy and pasted. So this allows me to go back and say, you know what? I like this one better. I'm going to restore this one. So it will ask, do you want it restored? Restore. And now it goes back to the July 25th. If I'm like, uh-oh, I didn't want that, and go back, it tells me which one was restored. And I can be like, no, I want this one back. Okay, I can restore this one too. So it allows me to go back and forth to restore. So what I'm going to have you do is using the Google Doc that has been provided with you, go and access a different version history. Also, you can type on it if you want, play around with it kind of as I did, and observe the changes that are made by restoring to previous versions. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. We probably won't go through all 3 minutes because changing the history doesn't take very long, but please practice that, and then we will move on. I am going to stop this with 1 minute left. That way we can move on. All right. Does anyone have questions about going back and altering the history of the doc? All right. Let's move on. We're going to talk about how to insert multimedia and links. So what I'm going to do in this one is I'm going to show you how to insert an image, how to insert a video, and how to insert a hyperlink. So going back to our doc. So we'll go down here. The first thing that we're going to do is insert an image. So go up here to insert. And then the very first one is image. And if I hover over this, you see that I have a couple of different options. I can upload from the computer, which means that if I have an image saved to my documents, my pictures, or basically my device. So if I have something saved to my laptop, my desktop, something, that is where I can pull it from there. I can search from the web, which I'm going to show you here in just a moment. I can search from my Google Drive. So if I have an image saved in my Google Drive, I can get it from my photos, which is my Google Photos. I can pull it up by a URL, or I can take a photo of myself with my camera. So to search from the web, what I'll do is, if you notice off to the right, there is a panel that opens up, and I'm going to type in physics. So I click here, and here I am able to search for an image through Google Images without going through another tab. So I can click on this, my little blue check mark appears, I click insert, and an image will appear. Now, if that's too big, I click on it, and I look for these little squares to outline, and I can hold, and I can change the size of my image. I can also go up here to this circle and change which direction it goes, anything like that. But I have the ability to move my image around. If I wanted to add it from Google Drive, I could. I don't have any images in my Google Drive right now. But what would happen is it would say Google Drive, and oh, I guess I do have a West Liberty. I could click on this. I can click on my drive, shared with me, starred, computer, anything like that. I also have the ability, like I was saying, to choose my camera, URL, or upload from my computer. So again, I just want the image. Another thing I can do is I do have this image icon right here in my toolbar. So I have the exact same options. If I don't want to go to insert, I can go right there. All right. The next thing that I want to show you is how to insert a video. So again, I just go up here to insert, and where's it at? I know I can insert a video. I was playing with it yesterday. Corey, can you help me real quick? Because I'm having a brain blank on where to insert my video.
I don't think I've ever put a video in a doc. I put it in a slide and a form.
Well, I know because I've opened it up. Oh, that is
Was
it.
it an animated GIF instead?
No, what I did was, so I remember now. I went to YouTube. This is what I can do, because I know I remember seeing how I could insert a video in my Google Docs. So we're going to get some warm jazzy music going, because who doesn't love warm jazzy music? Share. Copy. Go back to my document. I'm going to paste it in. As soon as my computer catches up.
Oh, your pretty link. Okay.
My pretty
Yes.
link. That
Okay.
is
I
how. Okay.
misunderstood.
Sorry about that. I was like, I know I've put YouTube's in there. So again, what I did for my video is I grabbed a link. I went in, I copy and pasted, and it says to replace with this, just hit the tab button and this little pretty link appears. What I can also do is click it, and if you see down here where it says open and preview, I can open it down here, and now calm down. But now my link opens and I can watch the video inside the Google Doc. That way I don't have to, again, have my students go, or colleagues or whoever I'm working with, go into YouTube itself. I'm able to open it up right here. So again, what I did was I just copied a link, pasted it, and if it's a YouTube link or a video, I click once, and where it says open and preview, I'm able to open the video right here in my Google Doc. The last thing I do want to show you is just how to hyperlink. So for here, I'm going to write Google Doc support, And I'm going to go here to support.google. And what I will do is I want to give you Google Doc support. So if this is a link that you want your students to go to, if this is a link that you would like colleagues to go to, or just yourself, you just click this, copy, and then highlight the words that you would like to put in the link. Go here to insert link, paste it, apply, and now I have added a hyperlink that I can send whoever, colleagues, students, coworkers, whoever I would like to go. All right, I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. Again, so you'll insert an image. Again, you just go up here to insert image, however you would like to do that. You can do this on your doc that is just yours. That way you don't have to show everybody. You'll do a YouTube video. So you'll go up here to YouTube. The way I shared that was I just want to share, copied, and then I pasted it in, and then I can open and preview. And then for this, I just typed the words, grabbed the link that I wanted, copied it, highlighted it, and again, just hit this button and pasted it in. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to work on inserting those things. Again, an image, a video, and a hyperlink. If you have any questions or you get stuck, feel free to ask Corey or I. All right, for the sake of time, I am going to go ahead and stop the clock so we can move on to the last two things I want to show you. The next thing I want to show you is how to add a smart chip. A smart chip is a new tool that is within Google. It allows you to have this interactive element with a lot of little quick insights that you can add through Google without having to go into other tabs. So you can add people, files, events without leaving the document. You can provide different context, anything like that. So what I'll show you to do is you can do this one or two ways. You can go up to insert and click smart chip and choose specifically what you would like to add, or you can just put the at menu or the at. And as you can see, my smart menu appears. So I can add people. If these are not the people that I want, so I can add Corey. And as you can see, Corey's name is now smart chipped. So I can click on here. I can also add a date. I can add meeting notes, an email draft, specific files. I can even add calendar invites. So if there are specific things that you want to share with your colleagues or teammates, you can do that. So I can add this in. I can add, like, this video is a smart chip. I can also go up here to my smart chip and add specific people. So here, then I can choose Donna. And again, they are smart chipped, so I can hover over and see that they are. I can add a place if I want, so I can type in West Liberty University, and by clicking on this, it will automatically open up a Google Map for me. So I can send documents if you're wanting to work with people collaboratively. I also have the ability to add a calendar event. So I can add this. And then if I want to add meeting notes, I can hit tab and it tells me my meeting notes, and I can attach it if I want. Or I can delete, however I want to do it. But if I want to attach meetings to the calendar, I can also attach meetings to the calendar. I also have the ability to email all throughout this one tool. Again, all I did was go up here to insert and click on smart chips. And then I also just hit the @ button and things appeared. And these are the people I message with Corey all the time. So then I can come up with other quick search menus that I work on a daily basis. The other thing that goes right along with this is drop-down menus. And so a drop-down menu is very similar. And so what I'm going to do to show you a drop-down menu is I'm going to insert a table real quick. Okay, so I got my table and I'm going to put it down here so you can see. And I'm going to highlight my entire cell and I'm going to create a drop-down menu. And as I can see that I have project status or review, these are complete defaults that come. So not started, in progress, complete, or I can create a new one. So if I want to say add for a rubric that I want to give information on, I can put exceeds, I can put met, or needs improvement. I can choose colors, like this is red, this is yellow, this is green, and then I can save. So then say this is Corey, Amanda, and Donna. All I need to do is, if I want to add again, go up to insert, drop down, add my rubric. And now I can be like, Amanda needs improvement, Donna met, and I can give instant feedback. This works well with students. This works well if you are working with colleagues. So we in the Office of E-Learning use this all the time to let people know where we are on different projects. So are we ahead of schedule? Are we behind schedule? Are we on track? Where are we? So we use these to go back and forth of this needs improvement, this is done, this is not done, this hasn't started. And again, all I did was go up to insert, drop down, and if I want to change something, so I'm like, oh, I need to get rid of that one because option 4 appears. I can click save, and now option 4 doesn't appear. I also have the ability to add or edit options right here within. Okay, so I am going to give you just a few minutes to practice smart chips and drop down menus real quick, and then we will finish up because we are almost out of time. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop anything in the chat or unmute. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Does anyone have any questions? Anything that we've gone over? Could this also be used to pre-schedule staffing vacations? Absolutely. Absolutely. This could be used for however. So yeah, if you need it for scheduling, if you need it for um anything like that, absolutely. That it's a great way. You can put it in a chart and just say, scheduled on, scheduled off, PTO, however your department works that. Absolutely. All right, does anyone else have any questions? All right. I do want to provide this. This is how you can learn more about Google Tools. One, you can contact the Office of eLearning, and Corey and I would be more than willing and happy to work with you one-on-one about any of the Google tools. It does not have to be Google Docs. It can really just be about any Google tool. Corey and I have worked with pretty much every Google tool that is out there. And so we do have the knowledge that we can help you work through anything. You can also, we are working on a professional development page, and there will be additional trainings on that. And then you can also just visit the Google Workspace Learning Center. So that is the support.google that I showed you that you can go through, and it will also show you step by step. Okay. If you have any questions or feedback, please reach out either via help ticket or just email us here at the Office of eLearning, and we will be more than happy to work with you. I do want to be very respectful of your time, so I realize that we are coming to the close of the top of the hour. Thank you so much for joining today. This will be sent out an email, so you will receive this recording along with a copy of the slide deck, so you can go through and go back and see what we talked about, anything like that, and share it with any of your colleagues. Thank you so much for joining. I am going to go ahead and turn off the recording.